welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time I'm gonna be doing my nails. It's long overdue and I just really didn't know what I wanted to do, so that's why it took me so long as well. But since I got my Valentino acrylic collection, I'm gonna be using some of those to test them out and see what I think. I've already swatched the or like 20 different colors and I loved them, but I just want to see what it's like to do it on my nails. Again, I've done this before, or I've used one of the colored acrylics on one of my clients before, but that was just one. So I want to do a full set with their acrylics. Now I didn't buy their monomer, so I'm just going to be using my Mia Secret monomer, so hopefully that's not an issue. I didn't have an issue when I was watching them, so I don't think it'll be an issue now. So of course the first thing that I'm going to be doing is just going in there and pushing back my cuticles. I'm just using a metal cuticle pusher and we're just literally pushing back those cuticles, and this is going to expose the new growth and also help with reducing lifting. Now this hand looks pretty bad. The reason why is because I've been doing videos on myself, and y'all, I was too lazy to soak the nails off, so I literally like pulled them off. And you know that's something that you never want to do, is pull your nails off or pop them off or whatever you want to call it, because your nails will, like the acrylic, once you tear it off, it's going to tear off layers of your nails. So in some spots my nails are really weak and they were hurting, so I waited a few days. So now like they don't hurt now, so that's why I'm going ahead and just doing my nails. But next I'm going to go in and just trim my natural nails as far down as I can, because you guys know that that's one thing about me, is I hate to be able to see my natural nail underneath my acrylic. So I'm just using a nail clipper to trim them down. Alrighty, so after I trim my nails down, I'm gonna go in with my e-file and I'm gonna be using my sanding band. So remember that whenever you are removing the shine from the natural nail, we use a 180 sanding band. I always leave my old one on here and switch it out for each client. Again, these are the 180 sanding bands, and you can find these on Amazon, and it just comes with 100 of these. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the shine. So whenever I'm removing the shine, I use it at 5,000 RPMs. And we just go in there and first go around the cuticle area, working your way around the nail and just basically getting rid of the shine. You wanna make sure that you don't overfile, because then you're gonna thin down your natural nail and they're gonna be really weak. Kind of like how mine are now, but it's because I ripped off my acrylic nails when I was practicing. But then I'm also going to use the same sanding band to just basically even out my nails. So just go in there, going again around the cuticle area. And same thing for all of them. So remember, you want to make sure that you focus around that cuticle area first, because if not, you will get lifting. Prepping the nail is really one of the most important steps, because if not, your nails will lift. And I know I say that a lot, but y'all, we don't want nails to lift up like the next day or even the same day. So make sure that you prep them really good. And the reason why we have to go in there and remove the shine is because our body produces a lot of oils. Those oils are on our natural nails. That's why our nails are shiny. And if we just leave that oil on our nails, you know, it's gonna come right off. So that's why we have to go in and remove the shine. Alrighty, and I don't think I mentioned it, but the drill that I'm using is the same one as always. It's my Melody Susie nail drill. I do have a promo code for them. And then also I'm using it on forward, and I always use it on forward, even whenever I'm doing my right hand with my left hand. So same thing when I'm doing this other hand. As you can see, I just go around the cuticle area. I'm keeping it at the same speed because even this one, like even if you cut your or touch your skin, it's not gonna do anything, but of course you still wanna be careful. But I go in there with the tip around the cuticle area and then just removing it from the rest of the nail as well. But make sure that you get in those creases really good. So same thing, going around the cuticle area, removing it from the rest of the nail as well. And just whatever you feel comfortable doing is completely fine. As you can see, when I'm removing it from the rest of the nail, I kind of just go in there like from the cuticle down towards the free edge, and then around the cuticle area I go still from the right side over to the left side. But again, whatever works for you is completely fine. Alrighty, so to apply the nail glue, I'm using my KDS glue. Remember that when you're applying nail tips, you want them to fit exactly from sidewall to sidewall. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this one. Place it right in the middle, hold it for a few seconds, and you're good to go. I think this one I'm gonna do clear because I know I want some glitter on this one. And usually, like by now, I kind of know exactly what size each nail is. So that's why I can just go in and pick up each nail and, you know, it's the correct size. But if it's your first time doing nails, or if you're doing nails on, you know, your clients, make sure that you do measure each nail individually because, you know, like I know for me, like my thumbs are different sizes and I think my pinkies are as well. Like this one's smaller than this one. So I always have to go in and measure each one individually. And then as always, if one tip is too big and the other one's too small, just go in and just gently file the sides off to make it fit perfectly. And then again, after that, just go in, apply the nail glue, and then apply it on your free edge. Just like that. I think I'm gonna do clear on this one as well. And these tips are the same ones that I will have back on my website really soon. As you guys know, it is currently still down, but it will be up really soon. Okay, so just like that, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the other hand. So again, we're doing natural and clear, and then of course just applying the nail tips. Alrighty, so I applied all the tips on. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put these up. Again, I will have the KDS glue on my website as well as my natural and clear nail tips. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, be sure to go follow me on there because that's where I post about launching my website and dates and all that stuff. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go in and reshape my nails. I'm gonna cut them down just a little bit because I'm not doing nails right now. I am gonna leave them kind of long. So they're gonna be a little bit longer than usual. Let's see, I'm gonna cut right there. So really just cutting the number off at the very tip. That one's shorter, so I'm not gonna cut too much. Alrighty, so after I cut them down, I'm gonna go in and just trim the sides down. I am gonna be doing coffin, so you just want to trim the sides down. That way we save a little bit of time whenever we start shaping up the nails. So I'm just using a straight edge nail clipper. These will be on my website as well. Alrighty, so once I trim all of my nails down, I'm gonna go in and shape them up. So as always, we're filing the sides, going straight from the nail groove or the sidewall towards the free edge, and just going in there at exactly a 90-degree angle. And we're just going back and forth and alternating between side to side. That way the nail is not crooked. And of course, when you're doing this, we're putting a little bit more pressure towards the tip because that's what we want to make more narrow. We just want to make sure that this lines up with the free edge. All right, after that, we just want to blend the nail tip right in the middle. And same thing for the rest. So again, going from the side wall towards the free edge at a 90-degree angle. Alrighty, so this is what they look like after I shaped them up. And honestly, y'all, I feel like my pinky is like a lot shorter, so I might be taking my pinkies off and redoing them. I'll like decide once I get closer to the end. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand. And as you can see, I'm using like the end of the table to get some stability. It's kind of hard to get the free edge really straight by just holding my finger like this. So if I sit it down on the table, I can go in there and just really get, you know, that perfect coffin shape. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing on this other hand, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go in and apply the primer. So remember, this you just apply to the natural nail, and this is going to help the acrylic adhere a lot better to the nail. And of course you could use the Valentino primer if you have it. I actually did not get it. I just got all of the acrylic. So you know, it should be fine, because of course, you know, I use the Mia Secret acrylic when I use this primer when I use the Mia Secret, and I don't have any problems with lifting. So it shouldn't be a problem with this either. So again, just applying this on the natural nail. Alrighty, so again, I'm gonna be using the Valentino products. The first one is the Crystal Clear. This one is the Butterlicious, which is the nude acrylic. And then I'm also gonna use my, what is this? This is the number 135, also the Valentino glitter. So let's see. And then again, I'm using the Mia Secret monomer. And then I'm gonna use my alpha brush in a number 10 in an oval shape, and I'm gonna use some gold foil as well. So with the gold foil, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut up little small pieces. Again, for the nails that are clear, those are the ones that I'm gonna do the glitter on, and I'm gonna do those last. I'm gonna go ahead and dip it into the polymer. I'm gonna place the bead right in the middle, and y'all, like, look at that first bead. Even just with that first bead, it looks so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and brush it down. I applied the first bead right in the middle. Brushing it down, make sure you pat the sides up. Next bead, I'm gonna place it right underneath the first one. So I'm doing the 4-bar method with this one. Same thing, patting it down, brushing it down towards the tip. Brushing the sides up, and the reason why I brush the sides and the free edge is so it doesn't take away from our shape. Make sure it's nice and smooth. So this is what it looks like so far. As you can see, nice and smooth. The color has some great coverage. You know, we're not having to apply so much to get a good coverage. Next, I'm gonna apply the 3rd bead closer to the cuticle area. And as you can see, it's not runny at all. And then it also doesn't dry super fast, which is a big plus. It gives you enough time to kind of play with it and move it around wherever you want, which is really good, especially if you're a beginner. And then the 4th bead I'm gonna place closer to the cuticle area, pat it down and get it as close as I can to that cuticle without it actually getting on the skin. I'm gonna apply a tiny bead on this side. I have a little gap, so just a tiny bead, brushing it down, and then cleaning around the cuticle area. Alrighty, just like that. So it's like a really nudish pinkish color. And then after that, we're gonna go in and just encapsulate this with the clear. So I'm gonna apply that right in the middle, patting it down and brushing it down towards the tip. And then brushing it upwards as well to get it on the entire nail. And then I'm just gonna go in and apply a tiny bead around the cuticle area. Okay, so just like that. So again, that is Butterlicious. I'm gonna go ahead and do that same thing on my middle finger. And then my pinky, I'm just gonna do clear because I'm gonna bling that one out. So, you know, we don't really have to use the same acrylic. So same thing, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try to work with a little bit more product on this one so we don't have to do the 4 bead on this one. So same thing, patting it down. Make sure that you pat really gently when you're working with this. And of course, that's with any acrylic, just pat really gently. That way you don't brush the product off the nail. I'm gonna place the next one closer to the cuticle area. Yeah, and I love this consistency. As you can see, it's not too dry or too runny. Of course, you know, it matters how much liquid you pick up as well. But if you have a good liquid to powder ratio, then the product is literally going on like butter, no complaints at all whatsoever. A lot easy. I can definitely tell you that this is a lot easier to work with than Mia Secret, because Mia Secret, it's a lot runnier. And even though I'm using the Mia Secret monomer, you guys know that with the Mia Secret, I usually have to add acetone, a little bit of acetone to my monomer to help it dry a little bit faster so it's not runny. And with this one, I just did like all Mia Secret monomer, and it's working just fine. And then we're gonna go in with the clear. Alrighty, so next I'm gonna do the pinky just all clear. And again, this is the color Crystal Clear. Okay, so I did a big bead just to see if it was, you know, runny. And as you can see, everything's staying intact. It keeps its shape, which is something that I love because it makes it a lot easier to work with. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go in and do the glitter on the ring finger and the index finger. So first thing I'm gonna do is get a small bead of the clear as a base, and I'm gonna do that on the entire nail. So just placing it closer to the cuticle area and dragging it all the way down towards the tip. I'm gonna get another one because that one was slow. All right, so then I'm just gonna apply it randomly on the nail, and since this orange is like colored or glitter acrylic, we can just pick it up right after we dip our brush into the liquid. And I'm just randomly placing it on the nail. Just like that, and then I'm gonna go in and throw some of the little gold pieces in there. Alrighty, just like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and do this one and then we can encapsulate them. So same thing, just doing the clear on the entire nail. And same thing, going in with the glitter. Alrighty, so after that, we're gonna go in and encapsulate them. So remember that when you're encapsulating, you wanna make sure that the acrylic is thick enough to where when you come back in to file the nails, you're not gonna file anything off. Alrighty, y'all, so as you can see, I just finished doing this hand. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other one. So same thing, thumb and middle finger with the Butterlicious color, and then the index finger and ring finger with the glitter, and the pinky just all clear.
No. Hold on, baby.
Alrighty, so I just finished doing both hands and this is what they look like. So again, I used the crystal clear acrylic by Valentino. I used the Butterlicious, which is this really pretty nudish pinkish color. And then I used number, let's see, what number is this? I used the number 135 glitter acrylic, also by Valentino, and I used my Mia Secret monomer, and as you can see, it worked just fine, no issues at all whatsoever. Then of course, I used some of the little gold foil pieces as well. So next we're gonna go in and reshape the nails. So I'm going in with my same 100-100 nail file, and we're just gonna start reshaping the nails. So going in at a 90-degree angle on the sides and the free edge, just like we did at the very beginning. Of course, we're not gonna have to do that much filing because they're already that coffin shape. We just wanna make sure that we get rid of any of the rough edges that may be on the side and just making sure that we perfect that shape. Alrighty, y'all, so I finished reshaping my nails, and y'all, I chewed my fingers up this time, but I guess I was just filing way too hard. But anyways, now I'm gonna go in with the extra fine drill bit. I'm gonna use it at 10,000 RPMs, and we're just gonna file all of the nails to make sure that they're all nice and smooth. And as you can see, you know, they're not bumpy or lumpy. They, you know, the acrylic went on really good, but of course we still have to go in and always file. So same thing as always, we first start around the cuticle area, going from the right side over to the left side, just going back and forth until you're able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that you don't have any product on the skin, because if not, you will get lifting. So we're gonna go ahead and file all of the nails, and then once we file around the cuticle area, we're gonna file the rest of the nail with the belly of the drill bit. And then I also like to file the bottom of the nail, go back around the cuticle area. And again, we're looking to see the cuticle area, the natural nail, and the acrylic. Alrighty, so same thing for the rest of the nails. Again, first focus around the cuticle area. Alrighty, so after I finish filing all of my nails, I'm gonna go in with the buffer, and as always, this is going to get rid of the scratches left on the nail from the hand file or the e-file. Alrighty y'all, so I finished buffing all of my nails. So next I'm gonna go ahead and clean all of this mess up, and then I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll be back. Alrighty y'all, so I washed my hands. So now we're gonna go in with the Color Club polish and the color Harp on it. And I'm gonna do that on both of my pinkies since I'm gonna blink out those two fingers. Alrighty y'all, so while those two pinkies dry, I'm gonna go ahead and do my top coat on the rest of the nails. Oh yeah, and the top coat that I'm using, of course, is my Madam Glam gel top coat, which is the one that I always use. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and cure the top coat for 60 seconds. Alrighty, so next I'm gonna go in and use my Swarovski crystals for the very first time. And I actually got these from Sky Beads, and I'll be sure to leave the link down below for you guys as well. But anyways, for my glue, I'm gonna be using this Zulay nail adhesive, and I'm gonna do the full pinky, and then I'm also gonna add some of these. I wanted something that matched my glitter, so I'm gonna use some of those, and then the rest just the AB crystals. Alrighty, y'all, so I just did that pinky yellow. Look how shiny it is. So now I'm gonna go in and do some more. I think I wanna add a few more of these in there. So I'm gonna do, let's see. I think I'm just gonna do some around the cuticle area. So I'm just gonna place the glue around the cuticle area. I'm gonna do one of these, and then I'm gonna do the SS12. And then I'm gonna do an SS12 on each end. Just like that, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on this middle finger. Alrighty, so just like that, and then now I'm just gonna go in with the hurry up spray, and I'm just gonna spray them to help that glue dry a lot faster. And that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing on this other hand, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really, really pretty. I love the colors and that glitter, and the acrylic went on so good. Do highly recommend it. And as you can see, my bling is also really, really pretty and shiny, or my Swarovski crystals. This is my first time ever using them on myself, and I am absolutely in love. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNail32, and I'll see you guys next time.